Well, hello and welcome to another stop on the World Athletics Tour circuit. This time we're in France, Nancy, for meeting Stanislas, which promises fast times and great matchups as always. What a pleasure it is to welcome you all, and not only yourselves but several Olympic and world medalists over the years are in town. It's a meeting that has been spoilt with superb matchups throughout the years, and we've got plenty of action to look forward to. One of those duels is that men's hammer throw. Well, the five-time world champion and national record holder Paweł Fajdek, he goes against his Polish counterpart Wojciech Nowicki, who is the Olympic champion from Tokyo 2020 and was seconded at those world championships in 2022 and 2023. But there is a man from New Zealand. But yes, what a fantastic lineup we have. There's the two poles sitting in, well, they'll go last, the second last, the throw, of course. But we've got some great French contingent as well.
Alors, comme vous applaudez les hommes au fort tonnage, les athlètes plus légers ont terminé de ce 400 mètres. C'est Antoine qui l'a emporté en passant sur les 4 minutes 3,58,14. C'est son record. Arnaud Abouy, lui, termine deuxième en 3,58,89. Et le troisième également sur les 4 minutes 3,59,15. Tristan Humbert. Cette course, effectivement, la part belle à ces gens qui sont indissociables, enfants d'unité ou soignants. Et pour information, regardez bien, le bâton de relais, c'est un doudou. C'est le doudou de l'enfant. Et c'est ce doudou qui sera passé à celui qui franchira la ligne d'arrivée ensuite. Au couloir 1, on va dire l'équipe de, vous allez applaudir, Rokia Lac. C'est celle qui va terminer. Au couloir 2, Romeo Metro. C'est plus long. Au couloir 3, Mathilde Pocherini. Ah, ça va finir là. Couloir 4, Léopold Pocherini. Ouais, Léopold avec sa casquette. Au couloir 5, Harry Schwazia Tombi. Au couloir 5, Gabriel Debruyne.
Well, hello and welcome to another stop on the World Tour circuit. This time we're in France, Nancy, for meeting Stanislas, which promises fast times and great matchups, one of which we are currently witnessing. The men's hammer competition, we have the 5 times world champion, the current world champion, Paweł Wojtek, vs his counterpart, Polish counterpart, Wojciech Nowicki, who is the current Olympic champion as well. And what a pleasure it is to not only welcome them, but also you at home, as we have several Olympic and world medalists competing here today. It's a meeting that's spoilt over the years with fantastic performances and some of the action to look forward to on top of this men's hammer competition, which has just got underway. The women's 800, we've got the current world leader, Prudence Sekedizo, the South African. She goes in the 800. What can she do? Of course, it's a weekend which is so busy. Athletes target this weekend year in, year out, because they know often it's, well, around about 4, 5, 6 weeks from your national trials, your qualifying round for the World Championships or the Olympic Games as well. And obviously this year being an Olympic year, and with it being in France as well, in Paris, excitement is just building. And we've got to say, the standard of French athletics for me over the last couple of years has just gone up and up and up. And they are now at the level where they have multiple athletes in multiple, events for qualifying for the Paris Olympic Games. It's going to be awfully hard. I would hate to be on their selection policy, choosing who to take to the big dance in a few weeks' time. But Chosinand goes in the men's hammered in. He gets his first round underway. We recently saw Algamal go as well. He threw 67.39, but boy oh boy have we got some men who can throw way beyond those marks, and if we get anything over 80 meters, that would be just fantastic. Currently the Olympic champion Wojciech Nowicki is he sits at 79.54, his season's best, so he's throwing very well. And Fadsdek as well, 75.82, his current season's best. He'll hope to improve on that. Bronze medalist in Tokyo, which he'll also hope to improve on. But yeah, these poles at the moment, they've dominated this event for so long, and it's also a pleasure to actually have this event at a meeting here on this World Tour circuit, silver label of course, because not often we get to see the hammer. It is a meeting that isn't included in the Diamond League, and a few years ago, World Athletics made those changes to Diamond Leagues and said, we're only going to include certain amount of events. Obviously there was uproar, but I think the men's hammer throwers had a little chuckle to themselves, and the women's hammer throwers, because they haven't been included in the Diamond League for some years now, and it is a shame. But so it's great to see them at these World Tour events, and of course they have events like the European Throws Cup, which in that winter Throws Cup, just usually around about that early March time, which always throws up some fascinating results. Who's wintering well, who's preparing for that summer season to come. But yeah, they really do have a long season, these athletes as well. Often throwers will go, they'll start in March, maybe even February, and they'll go right the way through to September, October time, get as many competitions in as possible. But we must say, next up on the track, as we can just see them sort of preparing their blocks, and out they come. We've got several field events which are about to get down as well, but we have got the 400 meters power race, which is going to take place at 7:40, so in about 10 minutes time. And then following that, we'll have the women's 800. I mentioned that world leader Prudence Sekedizo is in town, and they're due to go off at 7:50. And the women's pole vault competition 7:45 as well. So we'll be introducing you to them, familiarizing you with the athletes that we have here in town. Again, some fantastic talent. But there he is, Quentin Bigot, then the 5 times national champion, world silver medalist. What can this man do? That was back in 2019. The Frenchman, 5th in Tokyo at those Olympic Games as well, 4th in Eugene at the World Championships. So he's so often a nearly man, and he is someone who will realistically look at this Paris Olympic Games in 2024 and say, come on, can this be my year? I've been at the top for so long now. He's 31 years of age, and the hammer is an event where you do mature into it. You know, you do peak late. Often they say that peak is, you know, late 20s, if not early 30s, really, and beyond. Serious amounts of experience, and it shows. You know, we're looking at, well, there he is, Nowitzki there, the Olympic champion, silver medalist in 2022 and 2023 at the World Championships, and yeah, he's someone 35 years of age, and he's well, ranked #1 in the world as well. There's see a few of the men down there. Well, I think we're going to introduce ourselves to a few of the talented athletes that we've got on display here, and well, saw Omar McLeod as well. Obviously, Willem Melossian, Super European Championships bronze medalist. What can he do here today? Can he build into this season? I mean, he's someone. I mean, you look at the competitive stature of French hurdlers right now. Yeah, he's someone who's really going to have to be on his A game come those Olympic trials to qualify for Paris. And well, you know, you'd like to think he will, but anything can happen in this game. And getting a win here in front of his home crowd, and on this fantastic arena and track, I must say, it's provided us with some fantastic times over the years as well. You've just got to go through some of the meet records, and you know, for example, even the hammer throw from 2022, Fidek throwing 80 meters and 82 centimeters there. Well, Omar McLeod, world champion indoor and out, Olympic champion as well. He's also, that was in 2016, he won that world indoor title, didn't he, in Eugene, went on to Rio and won the title there in the hurdles, and he just wants to get back to that level. Can he contest? And you look at the likes of Grant Holloway, Daniel Roberts, and what the Americans can do, but so often when it gets to the Olympic Games, there's upsets. And boy, don't we know it. Angelica Moser as well, women's pole vaulter, former world under-20 champion, as you saw. The Swiss athlete, lifetime best of 475, ranked #8 in the world, so great to have her in town, it really is. There we are, Ferguson, Rotich. Well, what can we say about him? We talk about longevity, we talk about maturity in the event in the hammer. I mean, this guy's matured in the 800, first getting on the medal rostrum in 2013, way back. David Rudisha was still running 2 laps of the track then, and Rotich was almost, you know, his studied Rudisha, learned from him. It was almost his apprentice, if you like, and they had some interesting duels over the years as well, but he's still going strong, and he's here, and boy, you want to bet against him. You wouldn't want to bet against him to see him in Paris either, would you? But well, there she is then. Well, I guess the woman of the moment, and she'll probably look on, and look, athletes commit to these meetings long before they know how they're going to perform. But you look at that pre-classic meeting, which is also taking place this evening, later on over in the USA, and you would have liked to see Sikadiza go up against some of the best in the world. Well, Jimmy Gressier, well, we're going to enjoy watching him. Another 1500 for him tonight. He's done a few already this season. The double European under-23 champion. Oh boy, is he maturing into that 5,000. Sub 13 minutes for 5,000 last year. That special race in Monaco. And just continues to impress. 27 low on the roads as well. And Aurora Fluoriden, the current national champion indoor and out. And again, just another one on the conveyor belt of potential champions that France have developed, and it's amazing the impacts that home Olympic Games can have on the governing body, on the athletes around it. And as soon as it got announced, you look to figures like Gressier, who at the time was competing in the junior ranks, the under-23 ranks, and just slowly but surely the guy has developed, and he looks to be peaking just at the right time. Whether he can get on the podium in Paris is another question. It would be awfully difficult. I mean, the standard in the men's 5,000 meter running is quite scary, but he is getting there, and especially over the 10,000 as well. As we check back in with this hammer competition, and Nowitzki leads the way, by the way, 75.91 he threw, and Quinten Bigot is in second, 73.13, and Ragnar Karlsson, in the Swede, 72.12, sits in third place. And so we are onto that second round throw. And Paul Krusevold of Metz Athletic Club. He is just through in the circle there. 68-36, so he will stay in 6th place for him. And next up will be the crew of the Montreal club, who have produced some superb athletes recently, I must say. A great club, and I think it's credit to, we talk about, having holding an Olympic Games in your home country and the impact that makes. But yeah, the club system in France, they've just got it right. They look after their athletes, they develop their athletes, and they've got great coaches, very, very knowledgeable coaches coming through as well, and looking after them. And there's always a long-term plan. There's always a bit of a vision involved, and yes, they do get it right. It was good to see that finally paying off, and the crowds just forming here as well. And it's exactly what we want to see. So then, this Para 400 about to get underway. You can see them lining up on the start line. There we go. Duetase, Daisy goes in 1. Mukunda in 2. Lucas Matanat in, he goes in 3. The Conte, well, we'll go from back to front. Then Malcoste there. And Turkey, Celia Turkey. Being introduced to the crowd now and just focusing herself in. It'll be interesting to see, of course, a lot of these athletes have very different disabilities as well. And, well, Ustadets there in 5. Lecointe. Christian Lecointe goes in 4. He'll be easy to spot. There he is in the red and white in 4. But like I said, they've got many different disabilities. So some will be visually impaired, some will be physically impaired. And so we will probably see a little bit of a contrast in ability. And there you go. Then there's Lucas Matanat and Mukunda sharing 3 and 2 there. And Divatase Daisy goes in 1. So then this 400 meter power race about to get underway. They'll take to their marks. First track race of the evening here at meeting Stanislas in Nancy. Near perfect conditions. Can't see much movement. And the trees over the far side, which is very, very good to see. And we'll see what these wind readings are come the sprint races, but it just looks perfect. And this is why so many athletes, France play host to so many World Tour meetings, and it just is because their weather just seems to be so consistent. It's a bit of a mecca of World Tours here. A lot of lifetime bests set in France, that's for sure. So as you can see, Matanat and Mukunda will run side by side. Away they go, then Matanat supporting Mukunda on the way round. So those two looking very smooth. They're off to a good start, but oh boy, on the outside. Oh, Kyrian Malcoste is just streaking away, isn't he? He's going to be him against him at this stage. He's going to be fighting for a personal record or a personal best, whichever way you want to phrase it. But, wow, Duatase Tezi as well coming through on the inside. He looks very, very smooth, doesn't he? And he's just working up on Malcoste, and sometimes, oh, you've got to pace it right, and Malcoste struggling to do that. There is this ability where pacing is actually very, very difficult, and Malcoste just really tying up. He's ran a 400 the hard way, hasn't he? But no doubt about the winner on this one. Duatase Tezi storming through. Watch the clock, ladies and gentlemen, because this could he dip inside 50. He's going to be awfully close. Oh, just outside 50-80. He'll take that on the inside lane as well. Did it the hard way, just paced it to perfection, cruise around those bends, and well, we saw Malcoste come through as well, flying off that first 100. What an aggressive start he had, and Mukunda coming through strong at the end. But look at that then with Tisse, just nobody in sight. No doubt about the winner for this one. Like I said, though, athletes will have different disabilities, so it's quite a fair, not quite a level playing field as it were. But oh boy, Tase Tezi, superb. So that concludes race number 1 here in Nodzi, meeting Stanislas, and we've got some fantastic matchups to come, not only in the on the field but also on the track. Women's 800 will be up next. We welcome the world leader, Sekirizo. You're just seeing her being introduced into the crowd, and fair play. There's an athlete who would have had to put her warm-up on hold, but we've also got the Bahrainian, only Chip Koskai to look forward to as well. She's a sub 2 minute runner, several sub 2 minute 800 meter runners here, and that really is the kind of, I guess, the line between, I guess, good and great, or shall I say, you know, a decent domestic athlete and then a world-class athlete, and it does seem to be 2 minutes offers itself as a bit of a barrier. But you know, while we're here, these meetings, they are very much a chance for athletes to warm up, of course, for the Olympic Games in Paris, if you're good enough, if you've got the luxury of already holding that qualifying standard. However, many people here today at this meeting will be hunting for that qualifying standard at the Olympic Game, for the Olympic Games. And well, those standards, when they came out, well back in 2023, was it 2022 even, I think they were approved, and the rumours were being floated around. They really did chop them down. They wanted to leave a lot of positions, a lot of qualifying positions to your world ranking, and really focus on that side, not just have the standards that athletes want to hit. And you know, there's a lot of people in the sport who see kind of chasing times and standards as quite a negative. It's exciting for the athletes and people in the know, but for new fans, potentially difficult to follow. But there we are, being introduced to that women's pole vault field then. And Angelique Moser, really the one to watch in this, to be honest with you. I mean, 4th twice at those World Indoor Championships, including this year in Glasgow, multiple junior titles, and you can see way ahead of the rest. 475, not only her lifetime best but also her season's best, which is very exciting for her. Well, Leah Backman then as well, 435 season's best, as you can see, 442 personal best, and she'll just enjoy being here. Can she improve on that mark? Can she, I guess, up her game with the competition around her as well? Step up in this one. There's Brental, 7th at those World Under 20 Championships in 2021, silver at the European Championships. Dordain then, 446 personal best, 443 season's best, 2nd of those World University Games last year, and well, Angelique Kanuskate, the German indoor champion, qualified for Budapest last year, didn't make it out the heat though. And also alongside her, Jacqueline Ocherdi, the German, multiple German champion. She is 2nd in Bergen just a few days ago. Dayahan, 453, nice steady PB. Was actually out in Rabat at that Diamond League where she got 5th there. And Bonin, 6th at those European Championships in 2022. 1st at those Under 23 Championships last year. And 2nd in Montreal. So she comes in here in very good shape. And there she is, the Ninon Chapelle, 3 times your national champion. Her best years, perhaps 2018 to 2019, one would say, when she got a Mediterranean Games victory. But it's a season opener here. And there she is then, a lady of the hour, Angelique Moser. Like I said, 5th of those World Championships last year. So often the bridesmaid, just outside the medals at the World Indoor Championships on 2 occasions where she got 4th. But hey, she won that Rabat Diamond League the other day in 473, and that was a superb victory. And that starts to put her in the driving seat to really contest for a medal come Paris. And she'll be looking at the Paris Olympic Games, almost a home games herself. Obviously, Switzerland and France, very close geographically, and close enough to have friends and family in the stadium when you are performing as well. So that women's pole vault competition about to get underway, and they'll warm up into it as well. I'll keep you posted on what height they are due to start out at. I believe Leah Bachman is going to start at 4:16, so that's where the bar is at now. And I presume a few people will pass that before they really get going, and Moser being one of those especially. And in the circle now, I believe that might be Quentin Bigot. So I must just say, big PB from the men's hammer competition. I need to update you with Jan Sorsinand, 79.88, his lifetime best, leads the way ahead of Levitsky, the Olympic champion from Tokyo. So 79.88 is just fantastic. And there it was. There was a throw. You just witnessed it. Massive lifetime best for him. I mean, 78.21 was his lifetime best and season's best before. Ranked 20th in the world. He's going to be moving up that. And I must say, that hammer qualification, auto qualification mark for Paris, 78.20. So he just nabbed that a few weeks ago. But now he improves on it again. So then, as we familiarise ourselves with this women's 800-metre field, what can we expect here? Well, Danish athlete on the inside. Let's introduce from outside in then. And in 8, that's Nelly Chepkosgei. I believe that will be the pacemaker. The pole on the outside. Very experienced pole. Yulia Kuzuk. But Nelly Chepkosgei then. Bahrain, Kenyan born, season's best at altitude, believe it or not, where she was third at that Kip Keino Classic. And actually, we don't really know what to expect, because other than that, I mean, she's had 3 years almost at the sport where she hasn't really got any qualifying performances to her name. But as you can see, 158.93 she ran just a few weeks ago. Wow, Charlotte Pizzo. Look out for her. 2 flat. Can she break that 2-minute mark? She won in Marseille, 3rd in Montreal as well. 3 times French indoor champion. Look, for me, can anyone beat this woman? She's in fine form. I guess the only question marks will be how has she travelled over from that Diamond League victory in Morocco last week. Prudence Sekedizo, the South African athlete, 157.26. That's the world lead. Will it be for long? Well, we will find out. Obviously, that pre-classic going tonight as well. So, Agnes Rohali as well, the on-athlete, sub 2 minutes, third at those European Indoor Championships last year. Bit of a 400, 800 runner. Burgoyne. What can she do? 2 flat for her as well. 2nd in Montreal, 4th in Marseille recently. And there we are, Rachel Pello, Swiss on athlete. She goes 159.40, her lifetime best. Does a lot of 4x4. She was 6th in that Rabat Diamond League as well. Kandasuni, also another sub 2 minute runner. I say the talent from France is just outrageous. It really is. She goes alongside Abazala Loria from Spain as well, and Anne-Marie Nissen right on the inside then, the Danish athlete, also a 2 flat runner. So expect it to be fast. Expect this to be well inside 2 minutes. Can we see another world lead as away they go? Then this women's 800. Look out, Sekedizo then, she's the one just on the outside. Oh, Nissen pulling up already. That's horrible. That is horrible to see. Something's happened very quickly for her, and her race is over, unfortunately. And look at how these women just file in over on the far side. Nelly Chepkosgei just struggling to keep pace, isn't she? To the rear of the field, and the pacemaker's going to struggle to even get to the front. She's doing it gradually. And I did have down Yulia Korzuk was due to pace. She finally gets to the front. And, well, that's that, and the field files in, and now they don't want to go with her, do they? Because it is Bourgogne of France who's up at the front. On her shoulder as well, you've got the likes of Pizzo in there, Kandasunon as well. You can just see Pizzo mid-pack, and this is unexpected from Sekedizo, and she's almost probably treating this like a little bit of a prelim for those Olympic Games in Paris, potentially, when you're a world lead. But that's why it's quick 56-63 at the bell. And you could just see all these women, they look comfortable doing that. They're confusing us at home. We presume it's slow because they're in a pack so tight-knit together. But these women are hungry here today to really attack not only that sub-2 clocking, but they're going to look at that world lead of 157. So, well, Sekadizo just looks a little bit boxed at the moment. Nelly Chepkoskai looking to try and make her way through as well. Rachel Palau is just moving herself around. So look at this then. Eliza Correo and as I say that, Sekadizo just drifts her way to the front and looks to kick on. She's been a class apart. She was last weekend at that Rabat Diamond League as well. But can she hold on here? Correo of Italy chasing her down in that final 100 meters or so. Sekadizo, what's she got? The questions are going to be asked now. Can she hold off Correo of Italy? It certainly looks that way. It was a very, very fast first lap. She's the only one who was able to live with it. She comes through 1:59.64. Wow, well, 56 and a 63, not the way to run an 800, not a fast 800 anyway, but she'll take the victory there, and that is something she'll have to get used to. Those sorts of tactical, I say tactical because it was people often associate tactical with slow races, but that was tactical at the bell, having that many bodies to negotiate, and she managed it just fine. Sekadizo. Look at that. Barzabel as well. Correo. Oh, Chepkoskai just falling on the back of her. But that's what an 800 can do to you, that's for sure. But another win in potentially a little bit of a laboured performance for Sekadizo. It's always hard when you come off such a high like that Diamond League the other week, and potentially a little bit of hers going, wish I was over in Eugene for that pre-classic matchup. But hey, the biggest thing is she's come here for the win. And, well, these women would have learned a thing or two and just perhaps looked at it and thought, if there's one thing they've learned, and it's probably not to go through in 56, because it did get messy over on the back straight. The surprise was, usually if you see a 56, you'd expect that field to be single file. But wasn't the case at all. So that was your women's 800. That men's long jump final coming up now as well. Looking forward to those in that. That will be due to get off at 7:55. That men's long jump final. And that's the Israeli Ishay Fremov. Great jumper, 776 lifetime best. 2 times Israeli national champion as well. Right, Jean-Pierre Bertrand, 8 meters and 8 centimeter jumper. And there's the Norwegian. Ingar Kjapelsen, 7 times their national champion. He's their national record holder as well. He's had a bit of a modest season so far. And next to be introduced, Augustine Bay. Also, just perhaps having a little bit underwhelming season, waiting for it to really get going. A little way off that lifetime best of 8 meters 16. And Jeswin Aldrin of India. Well, India are another nation who are just on the rise, aren't they? They seem to have an athlete performing in every event there is at the moment, really coming through. Superb development in Aldrin. That lifetime best last year, 8 meters and 42 centimeters. Really put him on the map in the long jump. Jules Pomeridin, third of those European Championships, 2022, 2-time French champion as well. He was just being introduced to the crowd. Tom Campaign, another great jumper, another 8 meter plus jumper. 8 meters indoors, by the way, and he won this meeting last year in 7:89. So can he defend what would be his title? Simon Batz of Germany, 4th at those World Indoor Championships in Glasgow. He's the German champion, and he was 4th in Doha just a few weeks ago. So where those men go to prepare for their long jump competition. 6 jumps ahead of them, of course, and it will be the Israeli Fremov who will go first in that one. And we'll keep a close eye. We've got the men's 800 final to go. And that will be due off at bang on 8 o'clock, so we've got 5 minutes or so before that one. Well, welcome back. And if you are just joining us, we're here at meeting Stanislas in Nancy, France for another World Tour event. And next on the track will be the men's 800 meters. And boy, boy, have we got a world-class field ahead of us. Look at this in Philip Rack, Simon Valentini in there as well. The man at the bottom of the picture, Elliot Giles, fresh off a win in Marseille, 144. He ran out there. Dan Rowden, his training partner. Gabriel Tual, Olympic finalist, the Frenchman. He'll be looking to replicate that sort of form come Paris in the summer. What was he, 7th in Tokyo? So we've got some fantastic athletes who are going to go head-to-head. Those all pretty much ranked inside the top 20 as well. Atawi on the outside. The man next to him, Sieradzki, is the Polish athlete, and he looks to be the pacemaker here today. Pacemaker's a lot on Diamond League circuit, and interestingly, the athletes will know him well because pacemaker in Marseille, and quite a lot of these men are coming over from Marseille. The short travel that they've had, staying in France all week, of course. But yep, there he is, the Spanish athlete Mohamed Atawi, born in Morocco, second those European Under-23 Championships, over 1,500 last year. Is more well known as a 1,500 runner. Ferguson Rotich then. Well, look at that lifetime best. One of the best in the business, perhaps. You know, first represented Kenya in 2013. You could say he's matured in this event. He's been around for a very long time, but he was silver medalist at those Olympic Games in Tokyo. Gabriel Tual then, well, the home fans will be cheering him on here today. 144.23 lifetime best. Like I mentioned, 7th in Tokyo, 8th in Poland last weekend. An underwhelming performance for him. And the two training partners in, both from Britain, Dan Rowden, former British champion, Giles as well. A pair of them share a few British titles between them, and also Rowden just sneaking inside that 144 mark last year, 143.95. He slowly comes into form. A few men as well. And Selmini, another 145 man. And very, very well. Those World Junior Championships a few years ago. And right on the inside then, looking at Baronatini, the Italian, 144, his lifetime best. Alongside him, Kazar. What can he do? Anisek Kazar won in Barcelona for his season's best. DNF to those French championships last year. Certainly won't want to do that this year, will he? And Philip Brack, the Polish athlete, 3,000 and 1,500 indoor national champion. He's stepping down in distance a little bit, but I will just say a few words on Rack on the inside. He's unbeaten in 2024, so that's saying something. Charles coming into winning form as well. So way to go in this stacked men's 800. A lot of men to negotiate that back straight when they break over on the far side. And yep, look out, Philip Rack. I said he was a man unbeaten. He goes in lane 1. You see the pole just to the rear of the field as well. Perhaps going to try and stay out of trouble. Contrast to the women's race. Pacemaker's going to get to the front pretty smoothly through that first 200. Giles is going to get right in behind him. Atawi as well of Spain looking smooth as he just moves up there into second place, right in behind that pacemaker, Ferguson Rotich. So these men all know each other very, very well. Like I said, quite a few of them raced doubling back from Marseille. That was midweek where they set a few seasons best, and often France, it's just a home of fast times, isn't it? The weather, you can just count on it, you can trust it. This is very quick, just like that women's race, 50.35. Well, that'll do it. Definitely some Olympic standards up for grabs here as well. But I must say, quite a few of these men have been inside that Olympic standard. They don't have to worry about that. They're just racing for shape and looking ahead to those European championships. Look at this thing. Atawi and Giles go 1-2 on the back straight. Ferguson Rotich going to come under pressure from Gabriel Tual on his shoulder. And I said Rotich is mature. Perhaps he's paced this very, very well. The Olympic Games silver medalist from Tokyo. Gabriel Tual looking to bounce back from his disappointing performance last year. He sits in third, but Giles doing what he does best, kicking off the front here. Got a win on Wednesday night. Can he back that up with a win here in meeting Stanislas? Gabriel Tual, the Frenchman, on home soil. Can he come by on the home straight? Challenging. Atawi's still not done on the inside. Giles is going to cut him off, though. And in doing that, Tual's going to pip him on the line by the looks of things. Great race. 144.45. These men backing up some very, very strong performances throughout their season, building nicely. We're still only in May, don't forget. albeit the last weekend. What a busy weekend of action we have. So Tual takes it 144.43. He'll be encouraged by that. Giles congratulates him as well. Alongside Atawi. Well, he just would not go away, Mohamed Atawi, would he? The Spaniard DNF'd in Germany last week. Another messy 800 for him, but he almost got there. But Tual timed it to perfection, and just at that stage, he just had the momentum, didn't he? You do look at that. Philip Rack finishing strong as well. Says, we're going to see quite a few men, I think, just around about that 145 low mark. And Giles rewarded with an equal season's best at 144.46. He won't mind that. Continental Clesio from France, 4th place for him. Big time lifetime best 145.22. So, well, there you go. Holding up that Olympic standard. Like I said, a number of these men already had that Olympic standard. They didn't need to worry. 144.70 for the men. Auto qualification mark. 159.3, by the way, for the women. We just saw them race as well. But that's a great run from Tual. And actually make that very, very close to his PB. Just 200 to the second off his PB. And it's a surprise that someone like him hasn't broken that 144 mark. Yet you think after his very, very successful 2021 campaign, that was a bit of a breakthrough year. The last few years, 2022 and 2023, although they've been strong, he just hasn't been able to build on that performance too much. But I think this could be his year. You think often athletes need that momentum, don't they? That excitement to really get them going. And, well, he's going to have that throughout the whole of 2024. And then, of course, with what comes after it. So that concludes the 2-lap action here at the meeting Stanislas. Next race on the track will be the women's 100 meters, backed up by the men's 100 as well.
La saison estivale va être bien chargée. Évidemment, c'est aussi les ligas pour les championnats d'Europe. Ça sera évidemment une étape importante pour la course de la Jeux Olympiques à Paris. Il y a quand même pas mal d'étapes, surtout que sur le 800 mètres masculin, c'est assez relevé. Donc, il y a les championnats d'Europe du 7 au 12. Il y aura un passage aux France et puis on espère les Jeux Olympiques. Merci Gabriel. Mesdames et messieurs, un tonnerre d'applaudissements pour Gabriel Toulon.
Well, there you are. You heard from Gabriel Tual of France. A nice win here for him. Backing up that season opener performance last weekend in Poland. Sure saw women's high jump final also about to take place. We've seen the pole vault over on the far side. That'll be the last of the field event action. So we've got the men's hammer and men's long jump, women's pole vault and women's high jump also taking place. Familiarise you with that field just now. So there she is in Lucille Zay. 4 times 175 this season, awfully consistent. She really is, just waiting for that breakthrough to get back in those 180s. Improved every year so far. 8th at those French championships last year. Salena Yiki, 185, season's best 180 from her. Well, Lola Picard then, 2nd at those French indoor championships. She's another one who's just managed to improve every single year of her career. It's rare, and athletes like that, you almost look at it and go, well, that's the right trajectory, isn't it? As long as you keep improving, where can you get to? Well, Vermanen, 2nd at those World Under-20 Championships in 2022. 4th at the European Champs that year as well. But 2022 really was her year. Only jumped 190 this year. 2nd in Poland last weekend. Lang as well, multiple Swiss champion. And fresh off a win in Basel midweek in 184 out there. So she comes here with a little bit of confidence. And, well, Imke Onenden. First in Rehaglen last weekend in Germany. 3rd at those World Junior Games in 2019. Chiquel, 8th in the Diamond League over in Rabat. Current national champion. The French supporters will know her well. Pasita, former European indoor champion, Olympian, qualified for Budapest last year. Didn't manage to get out those preliminary rounds, the heats. And there you are then from Uzbekistan, Safina Sudaleva. Olympian, 6th in Tokyo, 5th at those World Championships in 2022. And the Asian champion is Sudaleva. And that's your women's high jump competition. They'll go warm up and get things moving as we look ahead to this women's 100-meter race as well. We've got some great speedsters who are due to go on the track. This due off in just a couple minutes time. Well, we had a few late changes to this field, didn't we? And it was interesting. We've got a few hurdlers who are going to double back and do the double here. I think one of those, Sarah Lavin, who goes in 8. So I'm interested to see what she can do. Claudine Nadasoa on the inside. She was a bit of a late entry for this one. 11:41 her season best, right on that lifetime best territory. Well, Rimlinger then, Marie-Ange Rimlinger. She's in good form. 4th in Monstradon last weekend. Should be in good company if she can place there today, if not better as well. And Bazalu, well, she's like a fine wine, just gets better with age. 41 years of age, Lorraine Bazalu. And flag bearer at those 2012 Olympic Games. National record holder for Portugal in the 100 as well. Jemima Joseph. What can she do? Fastest in the field, 11:04 lifetime best. Member of that quartet at the Olympic Games 4x1 for France. 13th April, she ran 11:04. Ollier then, also a member of that 4x1 squad at the Tokyo Olympics. So her and Joseph know each other very, very well. Nkanza, Alfine Nkanza, 11:22, a lifetime best. European under-23 champion, 2-time Belgian champion as well. And Leconte, the French indoor silver medalist, disqualified last weekend. She'll be happy she's here. She's getting another race out in Nancy because in Nancy last weekend it was quite a surprise to see her disqualified with that experience. It's Sarah Lavin then. Her event favours the hurdles, here for a little bit of speed training. Not bad. Often you see 100-meter hurdlers really rip it over 100 as well, just to see where their speed's at. Especially at this point in the season, lots of areas still to improve. Looking ahead to those 2024 Olympic Games. Don't you just love the excitement? Okay, then. So, from left to right, Lavin, Leconte, Nkanza, Olieri, Joseph, Bazzalo, Rimlinger, and Nada Rosa. Goes right on the inside. So women's 100 gets underway. Look out for the lane 5 in the orange. That's Olieri. Joseph as well. Jemima Joseph in 4. Those two seem to be going head-to-head, but it's Nadasoa on the inside, or is it? Oh, it looks like Jemima Joseph may have took that between her and Olieri, you would say. So, the two French women, they were the favourites. Joseph with that 11:04 lifetime best coming in. Just 22 years of age, and Oleri's got 10 years on it, and it is Joseph who takes it. 11:38. Great running from her, the 22-year-old. Like I said, they are both on that 4x1 team at the Tokyo Olympic Games. I think they'll hope to be on that 4x1 team in Paris as well. Look at that then. Joseph on the line. Awfully close between them, wasn't it? Oh, the area as well. Good dip from her. Bazzalo looked to have a great run. Did she come through for 3rd? I believe she did. 11:44. And Olieri, 11:40 for 2nd. So those were your top 3. Canada down in 5th. Mallory Leconte, the other French woman in that field, was in 6th. And just waiting to see where the Irish woman Sarah Lavin came as well. Her result not officially in yet. But they're your top 6. And look at those conditions in 0.1 meter per second. You can't complain, can you? Near perfect here in Nancy. So Jemima Joseph takes it, Olan Olieri in for second, and obviously Len Bazalu there in third place. Great racing from her. This season's best for the Conte. She'll take that away. Say that you can't do more than that. Build on the season you're having. Of course, we might see a few of those over the next month or two, as we are still in the month of May. But what an action-packed weekend this is. The amount of competitions that are taking place today or tomorrow is well, quite overwhelming to say the least. If you follow the sport, you will really have to go through those results with a fine-tooth comb over this weekend and coming into early next week, because athletes will be competing all over the world, chasing standards. Of course, the ultimate prize to call yourself an Olympian. That's why many of these will do it, not just for the love of the sport, but also to put themselves amongst the best, carve their name in the history books as well. So it will be the men's 100-meter final, which will be up next as well. That will go off in just a few, well, about 6-7 minutes time at 8:20. Currently we're watching the men's long jump. Augustine Bathing, what can he do on the runway? Oh, is he good on the board? It looks close, doesn't it? It looks close. And let's have a look what Bay did here. 8m16 jumper back in 2021. And I mentioned, interestingly, this is not electronic either. This is manual measurements. This is going old school. And I will try not to mention, of course, those new long jump rules which may come into play. 7:59 then I've got my results for Augustine Bay. It's one of the questions marked over those new rules as well, with how would that affect performances at meetings like this, World Tour level? How would it affect performances at junior level as well, at national level, domestic events? It would be awfully difficult. You may have professionals learning one kind of technique angle of the sport, and those at lower down levels having to stick with the old school method. So that was just another, obviously, discussion point around it. Well, here goes the Indian Jeswin Aldrin, 799 season's best. 8th of those Asian Games last year, by the way, in 2023. Perhaps just has not got it right, the Indian national record holder, when it matters at these major championships. With a jump of 8:42 in 2023, you really see this guy as someone who can compete, contend for top prizes, make finals, make the top 8 in the world at the Olympic Games. But he just hasn't been able to perhaps live up to that. He needs more time. It was a good jump from him, 787 in round 1. What will this be? We wait patiently for that to come, and it sparks a question as well. I know, speaking to a few people at World Athletics, they want to speed up the process of measuring. Often fans, we have to wait anywhere between sort of on average 15 to 55 seconds. 771 I've got for Aldrin coming in, so not an improvement on his 787. He still leads the way at the moment, and well, he's got the best PB on paper, so perhaps we'd expect it, but he's got a little room there to go on the board. Stating the obvious, I know, but well, him and his coach will be discussing that, and sometimes it's just your luck with the conditions as well. Sometimes you bank on a little bit of headwind or a little bit of tailwind, and then your run-up's just perfect. Jules Pomeroy to go next in that one. Doesn't look like we're going to see Pomeroy's jump as we prepare for the men's 100 meters. She's due to be up next as a women's high jump competition as well. There's Picard. Decent scorecard so far. Lola Picard, 186, so just some steady jumps at the moment to get things moving. Good clearance there. Nice first time clearance at 176 for her. Second of those indoor championships. And she's someone of how can she perform here? We edge closer to this men's 100-meter race then, and well, Campagne. Long jump, Tom Campagne. 685, a very, very modest first round, but he'll obviously improve on that. Not today though, not this time. Heavy, heavy foul, so not quite clicking for Campagne right now. 8 meters and 12. He's a man with experience as well. 8 meters indoors he jumped. But just, yeah, not clicking yet to say the least. Expect him to bump himself up that leaderboard though. Sits down in 9th. He won't stay there for long. As soon as he gets it right, he will fly. We've seen it time and time again from the Frenchman. And again, to give you a little bit of context for this competition, perhaps I will just mention that qualifying mark for these gentlemen, 8 meters in 27 centimeters. It is massive for them to get that auto qualification spot for Paris. And one of the reasons for that is World Athletics just want to see 32 men compete in Paris in the long jump, which obviously makes it a little bit more difficult. They look for around about a 50-50 split between auto Q marks and world ranking points as well. So they only think about 16 people in the world will get that. And in some events they've been near enough accurate. In sub they've been way off. You take an event like the women's 800 and that qualifying mark of 159 low, and almost all 48 women I think will have it by the time that window closes at the end of June. Well, Laura Celine Ayike then. Nice win last weekend for her, for the confidence at this stage. Personal best from dates back 2017, 7 years ago. So it's awfully frustrating, I think, for some athletes. 28 years of age as well. So when you think about it, she was just 21, had a whole career ahead of her at that stage, but hasn't managed to better that mark just yet. We're going to hold fire because let's introduce this men's 100-meter final. Let's have a look at that start list ahead. Yes, we've got some fantastic talent. Heidi Sahi, Emmanuel Matidi goes in there as well. Raina Mina, Nasir Mohammed as well. But there is Sahi. He goes in 1. 1082 his lifetime best. So perhaps, I don't want to say he's a little out of his depth, but he'll be happy to be here, happy to compete against these gentlemen in this company. Well, Abdullah Mohamedin, look out for this man. Very, very talented. The Saudi champ as well. 10.07, improving every single year. I think that's what's exciting for me. And Gary Bibby as well. 10.12 his lifetime best. Raina Mena then, the Cuban. 200 meters, perhaps his preferred event. He's one of the few men to break that 10-second barrier as well. 9.99 world, the Liberian Emmanuel Matadi, who's in this as well. He's a 2016 and Olympian in Rio, and also Tokyo in 2021, where he finished 7th in that Tokyo Grand Prix as well, just last week. Kamara then, Ibrahima Kamara, the Gambian. Made the heats, moved out of the preliminary round in Budapest. So he's he's competed against this sort of company before. Masoso, Sibo Masoso. 24 years of age, World University Games champion, the South African, and right on the outside then Diarra. What can he do? Senegalese man. He's only run into a headwind this year, so hopefully that's going to change here. I noticed. Hopefully that will change at meeting Stanislas in Nancy. Conditions look good. They were good for the women. So what can these gentlemen? So from left to right, Diarra, Masoso, Kamara, Atadi, Mena, Bibi, Mohammed, and Sahi on the outside. Expect the challenge to come from Atadi and Mena. They're the two men who have broken 10 seconds in this field. They go in 5 and 4. So you can see Matadi in the black in 5. Next to him, Mena in the all red. 9.99 his lifetime best. But on the outside of Matadi is Kamara. He goes in 6. Don't count out the Saudi Arabian Mohammed in 2. So way to go then, clean start for these men, and Mohammed gets a good one as well, doesn't he? When will Matadi get up into his run in the Liberian? He looks to be doing it now, but coming with a late run is Maynard. He's going to take it on the line. Yes, 10:28 for Maynard with a very, very late run. That last 20 was just impeccable, wasn't it? Executed it perfectly. Didn't tense up like Matadi. Just stayed relaxed. But we got to give it to Bibi as well in 3. Very smooth was Bibi. Good start from him, from Mauritius. But just couldn't hang with Maynard in that last 10 meters. Just fading so often the way, isn't it? You know, in a race which is so short, how many times have we seen it change drastically over the last 10 meters? And today was no different. Reina Maynard, he'll take the win here. Perhaps, you know, with the season's best at 10:180, would have looked at these conditions and look, a following win would have been nice. But he would have looked at these conditions and thought, you know what? I could do something here. I could do something pretty special. But, yeah, slightly underwhelming there. But, hey, how about that? National record there for Bibi. Just fantastic. The Mauritian. 10:32, and his season's best for sight. 11:03. I said he might be a little bit out of his depth in that company, but great to see him stepping up to the plate as well and performing. So in again another 10 minutes time, we'll have the men's 400 meters up on the track. Well, Chiquel in the women's high jump, Selene 192 last year, massive breakthrough. So that is why we see her steer clear at 180. Standard work for her. It's just getting warmed up at the moment. Well, Zay, by the way, season's best. Credit where it's due. But yeah, Chiquel, someone who's got experience on that Diamond League circuit, which makes a big, big difference. Think about that. Eighth in Rabat last weekend. French champion. Well, Palsetti, 180, failure. Almost looked like she was warming up the way she just approached that, didn't it? But it's happened awfully fast. And yeah, very surprised to see a failure at 180 for her. 2 meters in 1, her lifetime best from 2017, the Lithuanian. Can she get back there? 192 season's best, 31 years of age. Slavia. Oh, well, this is interesting now, because you look at the likes of Chiquel, who's gone clear at 180, and a few of the big guns in this, a few of the heavy favorites, and Sudalavia from Uzbekistan is one of those, the Olympian. She's so often a finalist at a world or Olympic level, isn't she? But so surprised to see her foul out at 180, just like we were surprised to see Palsaiti as well. Tego Say to improve on that season's best. 176. Can she get over 180? Gets the home crowd going. Here she is. She's a local athlete wearing those local colours, that red and white of Nancy. It's fantastic that athletes like her, they have an opportunity to compete here in these World Tour events. Silver label as well. It's good ranking points up for grabs. Oh, okay. Just small failure for her. Not too much adjustments needed. Perhaps just a little bit more speed. And aggression going into it just to help her carry some momentum to get up over that bar. So she fouls out as well. So 180 proving rather difficult for a lot of these women. And Salina Yike 176 so far. Perfect scorecard on that, but struggling at 180. Back to her then. She's not the only one. See what she can do. It would be a season's best if she cleared it. Oh, just perfect. That'll do it. Season's best for Salina Ike. French athlete, very, very strong indeed. Well, she won last weekend. Can she back that up here today? It will be a big upset if she did. However, sometimes when you look at, you've got to take the chance, haven't you? And if the you know, the best in the game aren't fancying, you've got to step up to the plate. Over to the Indian in long jump. Yes, Alden. Can he improve on that 787 in round 1? Ooh, it's going to be tight. Red flag, though. Tight on the board as well. Too tight. Let's have a look here. Ooh, yeah. Oh, yeah, it's not even. I say it was tight on the board. Not even. Way beyond it. He'll know that as well. So, foul for him. You can just see that slight increase in wind. 0.3 meters per second. Perhaps that's making a little bit of a difference.
Et de nouveau un très beau jet pour Yann Chaussillon, vous le voyez sur le panneau d'affichage. Une nouvelle fois dans ce concours, il revient au niveau
information from his coach. Talk about these corrections. Like I said, he's the one man who's competing quite a long way off his best of 8:42. That was not a bizarre result. It came in March of 2023. Such a while ago now, and he just hasn't been able to produce it. I think last summer we expected great things, weren't we? But he is a man who does have that Olympic standard. Well, Pomeri then. Jules Pomeri, another man who's soared clear of that 8-meter barrier. Second at those French championships last year. Here he goes. 690, 712, expected to be on that. It's just all a bit flat at the moment, isn't it? From him, he'll be a bit frustrated. Like I said, when he gets it right, he will soar, but just struggling for things to click at the moment for this gentleman. So, almost halfway through in this men's long jump competition. Good on the board, just didn't quite have it. And I can just say I'll update you from the women's high jump as well. Palsetti, Ariane Palsetti, she goes clear at 180. Okay, in the men's 400 meter final, Trevor Stewart, the man at the top of your list. Well, gold medalist from the Tokyo Olympic Games with Team USA in the 4x4, of course, not individually. But he's a man who is a very, very accomplished 400 meter runner, one lap runner. Well, on the outside in then Petrucciani, Swiss athlete with Petrucciani goes on the outside. Tadeo Isaacs then 45, 30, 33, his season's best. And what about this then? Dylan Borlée, so often on a successful 4x4 team. I talk about Trevor Stewart, but Dylan Borlée as well, second, 2 times a world indoor champion in the 4x4, including that Glasgow gold more recently. Fought in Tokyo for him. Zakiti Nene, the South African Tokyo Olympian. She won the Stockholm Diamond League last year. Believe it or not, that was a surprise to many. Charles Byron, the Frenchman, second 4x4 at World Championships last year in Budapest. He was on that team, 7th at the Rabat Diamond League, so he's gaining lots and lots of international experience right now. Well, how about this one then? Luis Alves Ferreiro, 44.95, 45.40 season's best. Second at the World Under-20 Championships in 2021 was the Mexican. Coelho then of Portugal. What can we expect from him? 4th at those World Indoors, World Junior Games champion, and finally right on the inside, Stewart. He might not be happy with that lane, to be brutally honest with you, to be there in lane 1, but hey, you get what you're given, don't you? And semi-finalist at USA's, and he's one man who his road to Paris is going to be awfully difficult. Doesn't matter what he's run or what he does, he needs to be right at the top of his game to even get near, I guess, the US Champs final. And to even fight for a spot in Paris, we know the strength and depth the Americans have over the 400. But if he can get another Olympic medal in the 4x4, I'm sure he'll take that as well. Okay, Stewart, Coelho, Ferreiro, Barden, Nene, Borlée, Isaacs, and Petrucciani. Bunch of these men all operating around that 44 flat mark, a few inside it as well. Stewart and Coelho, they go in 1 and 2. Interestingly, Fastest man on paper, lifetime best-wise, have been given those inner lanes. So away we go then, like I said, Stewart on the inside in the blue. Coelho, the Portuguese man, in 2. He's wearing the black, so those two having a pretty measured start early, or is it just the fact that Avales Ferrero from Mexico is just storming off? He's making Coelho look silly on the back straight, but of course it's not a 200-meter race, it's a 400 race. Coelho will look to reel him in round this bend, but you've got to say the Mexican Alvarez Ferrero is leading at the moment. 45.40, his season's best, so we'll keep an eye on the clock. Coming into the straight as well, that's Sekatse Nene, the South African, looking very smooth. He's one of the fastest on paper. Can he hold off Ferrero, the Mexican, the under-20 silver medalist from a few years ago? And it's going to be him who's going to hold it. 45.51. Smooth running from him. It was aggressive start as well, wasn't it? But he's got experience and he's starting to learn this event. He's starting to grow and he's starting to just not be afraid. And the strength to hold on when you're under pressure like that takes something special. And it was Sekitse Nene just on the outside of him. And in the end, it was Borle who came through for the dip, wasn't it? On the line, looks like he got second. He'll be awfully close to a season's best, will Borle. It's a hundredth of a second between Borle and Nene, actually. So 45.64, it was a life PB for season's best for Borle. Coelho, season's best for him, the Portugueseman. Perhaps just a little sluggish off that indoor campaign that he had, just building back up nicely. And Ferrero, 45.50 for the win. Man in orange, good running for him. He'll take a lot of confidence from that now, moving forward. And so often in events like sprints, it's winning that counts. I saw Michael Johnson talking about it a little while ago, and it's not so much the time, but when you're in good fields, which this was a good field today, a very strong European international field, and you just want to come away with the win, and that will show you that, look, get the conditions right, get your peaking right. Of course, athletes, can't be easing down at this stage just yet, but get all that right and you can perform. Morning, welcome back. Any of you are joining us, we're meeting Stanislas. Let's see. We just witnessed the men's 400. That was won by Alvarez Ferrero of Mexico. Takiti Nene was second, and Dylan Borle's third there. That crowned out in top three, 45.50, that winning time. Well, Selene Ike then, 180 clearance. She sits in second. She's in a very, very promising position. Stick it to some of the best high jumpers in the world. You've got 2 meter and 1 centimeter jumper Palsaite in this field, former European indoor champion in 2017. But at the moment she's struggling. She struggled at 180, just like Selena Ike did. So what can this French woman do? Put the pressure on. She's already got her season off the winning ways. She's here, full of confidence at this stage. You can see her just visualizing. It's fascinating, is it, what high jumpers do? So much of it. I mean, so much of elite sport is mental, but when you look at these field events, it's just that one explosive movement. So much we want to lost in a split second. Yeah. 183 the bar at, and still lever, by the way. Found it 180, and then she chose to pass it, and now she'll attempt 183. So I'm updated with the story there. She was one of the big hitters, 197 jumper, at her very, very best. So Selenike. Get her jump in finally. She's patiently waiting, sun beaming down on her. This is to take her up into the lead, be the first person to clear 183. Cleared 180, here she goes. Oh, that's unfortunate. Ever so close, wasn't she? At one point, I thought she was going to be up and over. Just, well, she's got equal season best at 180. She's got 183 in the locker. That will fill her with confidence. Yeah, she'll go away. Prove on that mark. I'm sure of it. Dead certain that she will go clear. And, well, you look at some of the big hitters, Basite, the Labour as well. They can't even. Well, also set to jump. This women's high jump competition. Really getting underway, but it's getting to the business end. You know, we're already seeing quite a few people out. It's even the heights of 176, so that was unfortunate to see them not go clear. It's interesting we're seeing Verman. I don't think she'd even entered the competition yet, and nor is on end. Both of those 196 jumpers. Perhaps just not wanting to waste any energy so far. Okay, this women's 1500 meter final, that will be next on the track. Look at the starters, we are jam-packed. We've got a few athletes in it as well. Oh, unfortunately, Melissa Courtney Bryant, it's news to us now, just like it's news to you. She is a DNS, so she will not start this 1500. She was one of the heavy favorites on paper. You look at the former European indoor medalist over 3,000 meters, but well, 12th in Doha Diamond League a few weeks ago, and that was a disappointing performance. 408 she ran out there. So perhaps something a little bit not quite right in her camp at this stage. Absolutely, like I said, stacked field so often the way on these European tours. This is what makes them so special. They are really, I guess, championship races, if you like, just because there's so many people to negotiate. But we'll try and water that field down. I think it will. Look at the standard in this race, and there are a few ladies who do look to kind of lead the way and perhaps be the ones to watch. Natalie Blomqvist of Finland is definitely one. She was the winner out in Germany last weekend. Knocked out in the heats in Budapest, which was a little bit unfortunate from her last year, but certainly has the talent to move on. So away they go, and it's smooth start from all these women. Trying to ID them the best we can. Also from a French angle, we've got Berenice Clayette Merle in here as well. She was third in Marseille, 4:04 midweek. And she has 7th in the World Road Mile, actually. So fantastic running from her out there. That lifetime best of 4:03.91 back in 2023. So these women, well, 4:02 is that Olympic standard. That's what they'll look to really target. That's what they have to do there to get on the plane and go to Paris. But look out for Danny Jones in the American. She sits in about 3rd place at the moment alongside Clayette Merle, Berenice Clayette Merle of France as well, who moves herself up into 3rd, actually, as I say that, just overtaking Danny Jones. The Ethiopian in here as well, Tuka Degu, Well, she's a little bit of an unknown talent, isn't she? 4'11", lifetime best. But, oh, okay, so 63, 64 through 400. That's very strong running for these women. They'll enjoy that. But she did win in Castellón, as mentioned in Degu of Ethiopia. And that was in Spain just a few days ago, the 19-year-old. So what can she do as we look ahead? And just looking at this women's pole vault as well, got the split screen, one eye up on the top left, that women's 1500, just easing round the track, approaching that 600 meter to run mark. Well, back to the action. So 136, you can see they're inside that. That would be bang on 64. So they're moving very, very smoothly indeed at this stage, and that's promising. Danny Jones looking to just move up there as well. Well, Gate Quillemot of France. It looks to be her in second place, just doing the work. And this is going to be interesting because Pacemaker's going to drop out now. Will it slow? There's the questions that you kind of ask yourself. Alexandra Polinska in here as well. Natalie Blomqvist of Finland just doing her best to hang on. 208.41 to 65.30. That's exactly what you want for these women. But don't forget, that will be on the Placemaker on the front end. So this field is really, really stringing out. It's full of a bunch of women who are right on that Olympic qualifying mark of 402. 402.50 it is for the women, or 420.90 in the mile. So it's a very, very difficult mark, and a few of these women are right on it. They'll want to box that off before they get into their national championships in, 4 or 5 weeks' time. So still at this stage, there you go. Pacemaker pulls out on the inside. Well, she just about managed it, didn't she? Just about didn't get in anyone's way at that point. So it's Guillemot and Jones at the moment. These two are 1-2. Looking very, very smooth and just coming up into the picture, as well as that Vandelest, Elise Vandelest of Belgium. She's having a superb season so far. European indoor champion from Poland, 4 times the Belgian champion. Can she get amongst it at this stage? Let's see what their 1200 meter split is. We'll get a good indication of what they're holding. 3:13, so a 65.1 slowed again. But Danny Jones just showing her class, showing her strength as well. Trains up at altitude. Went through university at Boulder, Colorado, didn't she? Up at altitude there as well. So she'll be accustomed to a fast, strong, hard pace. And she's just piling it on now, asking the question of these women. So the American coming over to Europe, dominating the European scene. I might eat my words, but she looks very smooth for me. And knowing this athlete and what she can do and the talent she has, she won't let this up. Now, eyes on the clock for 4 minutes. Coming back is Guillemot of France, battling hard, rocking side to side. She's going to ask the question of Jones, who's just fading at this stage. So, the favourite from France is going to take it. Agathe Guillemot, 4:01 inside that Olympic standard. 4:02.05, 64.18. And she deserved it. She did it all herself, especially early on in that race as well. She had to get on the back of the Pacemaker, push things along. She deserved that one. Oh boy, did she. Massive lifetime best, I say, by a second, just over a second. And look at that, the pacer congratulates her because they'll know each other well, what it means at this level, to do that. But Agathe Guillemot of France, whoa. Whoa. The current French champion. She was third last weekend in Chorzów. She backs this up for the win. France are building something here. And it continues in Nancy. Just relentless, and what this nation is doing with their athletes and the success they're breeding. Very, very promising. But we'll hear from Guillemot trackside now. Just, when it boils down to that, up on the top end, you're looking and you're seeing Jones, and you're just like, surely no one's going to be able to get back on her. But she just, the last 50, it just started to fall apart, didn't it? And then, of course, soon as Guillermo smelt blood, as soon as she got an idea that she could win this race, she fought back and she just didn't leave anything out on the track. That's an inspiring performance from her. It really is. Another on-athlete as well. Not only is the French athletics doing something special, I think that brand on are doing something special as well with their athletes, the way they look after them. I think it's an inspiration to all other brands how they should go about managing and looking after and developing their athletes. It's a family there. After that 1500 now, we'll turn our attention to there'll be 200-meter races, 100-meter hurdles, and 110-meter hurdles before that next 1500 to conclude the evening. But there you are, Guillermo 4:02.05, Danielle Jones 4:02 as well. And you can see the rest of the field, well, Berenice Clement just struggling, fading back a little bit.
J'imagine que c'est un plaisir de retrouver ces performances-là, de repasser là-bas, de découvrir la piste qui fonctionne dans cette saison, et vraiment ça compte. Peut-être demain avant les 400 mètres. Dans un concours qui est très relevé, donc évidemment ça promet pour la suite de la saison, t'as parlé droit. Voir les Jeux Olympiques, ça va être une saison bien sympa tout ça. Ça va être une sympa, ça va être bien animé, et puis l'objectif principal ça va être les Jeux à la maison, donc préparer au mieux, et enchaîner les compétitions avec de bonnes performances pour aller loin aujourd'hui. Allez, la chose qui me nouveau à des éléments pour les Jeux Olympiques ce soir. À Nancy, encore une fois, long applaudissement pour le concours de lancer du marteau. Et la chose suivante.
Well, Jan Chosinon then, wow, we're looking at 79.88. He nails another Olympic stand. He already had one under his belt, but more importantly, beating off the current world champion, the current Olympic champion, the pair from Poland, Wojciech Nowicki and Paweł Fidek. You can't quite believe it, can you? So the two Polish athletes struggling to really perform today. Both of them comfortably over 80-meter throwers. So back to the Jesuit Aldrin then in the long jump. Fourth round for him. He's the big player in this competition, so eyes on him to deliver. 42, he's one of the few men who are actually inside that Olympic standard, 8 meters and 27 centimeters. To put it into context, but that's a modest jump from him there. White flag, we'll get the results of course, we'll get the official mark here, but it looks around about that 750, 760 mark, to be honest with you, so nothing too exciting from him. Perhaps a little bit longer than that, maybe I was being a little bit harsh, but let's see what it comes down. Oh, 781 my end, so Aldrin, you wait for that on screen. Looks like he just jumped 781, so consolidating his place at the top of the pile. Tom Campagne, 783 for him as well, and not far behind. There's a few of them clear at 780, and Simon Batz as well, the German, also clear at 780. So, well, here goes the Israeli athlete then. Shea Efremov sits down in 8th place at the moment, 720. Improve on that. He's just looking to bump up a rank or two. He'll have to be some improvement though. 757, the Norwegian ahead of him, and Cheswell Johnson of South Africa 767. So unless he can pull out something pretty special, and it would need to be special, it would need to be around about that lifetime best territory for him to actually rise to a season best of 767, and a lifetime best of 776. So Efremov, the Israeli champion. Campagne, you can see, what a beautiful evening here in Nancy. It really is. You just can't get pit conditions better than this, and this is why meetings like this are so favoured by athletes on the circuit as well. Perhaps some of them coming in a little bit tired now. They've had a few season openers to their belt, to their CV, and now the season just really getting going. And Efremov, one of those. What can he do here? Good on the board. Definitely looked like that. Oh, okay. Well, probably around about that 7 meters. We'd need to see it again. But we will wait. 7:15 I've got. He's a long way from the board there, from where he could be. So that would indicate an improvement if he can just get things together. Well, you can see, I mentioned the weather and how perfect it is. You can see for yourself, can't you, in the sky behind. Here's the women's 100-meter hurdles. Up next on the track, the Polish there, Shikars. Chalku goes in this. Sarah Lavin, we saw her in the 100 as well, doubling back for the 100-meter hurdles. Great to see her, the Irish woman. One of the strongest athletes in here. Brittany Anderson, the Jamaican, mind you. Well, 12:31, 8th at those Tokyo Olympic Games. She will be the one to watch. She goes in 5. So Claudia Siqueires then 12:82, her lifetime best from 2019. And she set that, actually, that was a world under 20 record in the 60-meter hurdles back in 2017. It's a phenomenal 60-meter hurdler. Judy Chalku then 4th in Montserrat last weekend. Perhaps a little bit disappointing with that. She'll look for better here today. Sydney, Ferdinand Soa then. Madagascar, 2nd All African Games as well. Season's best for her. And here is Sarah Lavin in 5th at those World Indoors in Glasgow. 5th at the Doha Diamond League not too long ago. She is the national record holder for Ireland, of course. 11:27 over the 100, but also in the hurdles with that 12:62 semi-finalist in Budapest. She'll look to make the top 8 at the big dance this year. Brittany Anderson, you can see what a fantastic talent. She is 12:88, her season's best. 10th all-time, knee injury in 2023, so she's getting back from that. Sasha Alessandrini as well. She goes in this one. The French athlete, 13:05, flirting with that 13-second barrier. A little bit like how the men battle that barrier. Velets then. Velets and 12:87, her lifetime best. One to watch. Youth Olympic Games champion, actually way back in 2014, but has run a 12:99 season best, but that was with a 3.6 positive wind. And look, some hurdlers will enjoy a tailwind, and some will prefer a headwind. It makes it awfully difficult sometimes to judge your foot speed in between hurdles when you do have a strong tailwind and the distance you kind of cover over the hurdles as well. So Brittany Anderson, Sarah Lavin, Ferdinand Soa as well in 3. But Anderson really is the one to watch. Her season's building nicely with that 12:88. 2nd at those World Championships in 2022. Behind, of course, Toby Amusan. It wasn't win legal at the time they ran there. It was just phenomenal. And Amusan running that 12:0 or 12:1, wasn't it? And but 10th all-time, Anderson. She is in orange in 5. All eyes on her. How close can... okay, false start then. I was about to say, how close can Lavin get to her, to this first hurdle? How close will it be? But we're not to find out. Not yet anyway. We'll have to wait and analyse this. My guess is as good as yours so far. I really didn't see too much wrong. There you can see those hurdles just being bumped back up. Some of them have obviously just down a little bit. So here we go. It's a red card. Oh, it's going to be a red card, unfortunately. Oh, it looks like 6 as well. Is that Alessandrini who's going to get the card? Oh, I think it was 7. Laura Valette. Oh dear. Oh dear. Yep, it's a straight DQ, and it's such a disappointment, isn't it? And look, perhaps I've seen it multiple times now throughout the season. Athletes know the rules. They know they can run under protest. Perhaps we'll see that here. Perhaps she'll take the disqualification and not bother. There you go. Well, this looks like an athlete who's going to run under protest. Literally said to the official, "Can I run?" And look, it's, you know, when you've gone through warm-up and you've gone through competing, I guess it's frustrating because if she does go and run something special, i.e. an Olympic standard or improve on her world ranking points or even get the win here, it won't count. And more importantly, 12.77, by the way, is that Olympic mark. And she's not far off it with her lifetime best of 12.87. That's, yeah, more importantly, you won't get any prize money or anything like that. But here she is then, refocusing, just like the rest of the field. Alessandrini is in between Valette and Anderson. They're the three in the orange. Like I said, Anderson in 5, Alessandrini in 6. And Valette, who folks started there just to the right to Pedden on the outside. 12.87 on lifetime best though. So Chalku gets a good start as well. Slight hesitation from a few athletes. Lavin looks very, very good over these first few flights as well. Look at Fiadan Soa coming through. And on the inside, Chalku as well. When is Anderson going to get into this race, or is she? Lavin takes it on the line. 12.93. Big, big upset if it stays that way. We'll wait for their official results. It was awfully close, but you're waiting to see Anderson come good on you, but she just couldn't get on terms with Lavin. But like I said, coming back from that knee injury in 2023, that's a big scalp for Sarah Lavin. And her season goes from strength to strength, from the indoors, progressing into the outdoors. From the Irish woman, fantastic. Let's look here. Just edges it, doesn't she, with the lean? And you know what? I want to say Anderson doesn't even get second at that stage. The results are taking an awfully long time to come through. The officials will look at that for a little while. But then that's Soa as well. The Madagascan silver medalist, those All-African Games, backing her performance up. 12.91 at the season best. She's going to be awfully tight to that. She was the one competing alongside Lavin. But, yep. Boy. Possibly the championship best performance they're waiting for. And if handed out a card, I mean, that would be 12.89. So that'd be great if we saw that officially go up. And we're still waiting as well. So the athletes look just as confused as we feel at home. And as you can see here, they're just one of the volunteers just holding off giving awarding in that time. Well, Sarah Lavin then. Oh, here we are. So it's 12.92 then for Sarah Lavin. We are awaiting official confirmation from that. At the moment, got a popping up with DQ next to her name. I don't think she was DQ. Not sure she did much wrong there. 12.92. But Anna Soa looks to have got second, and Brittany Anderson had to wait, and she was there in third. 12.97 for her. So drama in the women's 100 meter hurdles. We'll wait for it to be confirmed. There you are on your screen. So we'll take that as the official result. No problem. Thank you very much to Sarah Lavin. And 12.92, 12.94. You can see how close it was at 97 for Anderson. And well, we've got that to look forward to again with the men's 110 meter hurdles. I'm sure we'll have more drama. Shaquille then goes in the high jump. Oh, she goes clear. That's a fantastic jump. Very, very good from her. 186 and leading the way, Solène Shaquille. Just looking very confident at this stage, isn't she? And you know, you start to look at that 192 lifetime best and the way she's performing, the way she's jumping. She's edging closer and closer to it. We could see that tonight. The only thing perhaps she hasn't got in her favor, she's got a few jumps in her already, and sometimes that fatigue can just add when you really want to execute that top jump and bring out the best. So we'll see. Eyes on that. Like I said, fantastic conditions for them. The crowd is electric in that part of the stadium. You can see them all lining up around the outside of the track. This is what these meetings do best. These small, intimate meetings. The crowd are right on top of you. Very, very fun for the athletes. They love them. Well, there we go then. No problems at all. Thank you. And Angelica Moser, 4 meters and 71. Looks to have gone clear at that. She's jumping some serious heights now. And next, surely she's going to be attacking 481, which would be a lifetime best. So we'll wait for that officially to come in. Could well have been seeing a replay from her 461. So we go to Angelica Moser, 471. I think that was. Oh, second time failure then. So previously we saw her go clear at 461. 2 attempts at 471, and it will go down to a third for Angelica Moser. Replay of Shaquille's jump as well. Superb from her. She was delighted with that. 189. Wow. Wow. She is just on fire. And this is hotting up this competition in this women's high jump. We're going to see something big, I think, to take the win here. We'll be up to 192 next. That will be equaling her season's best. So, Solène Shaquille, MK Onen, by the way, also jumping well, 189, and it's over to Britt Vermont to go clear, the Dutch woman at 189. She's already fouled out. Oh, well, that was to the labor. It's a famous to the labor. Well, welcome back here to meeting Stanislas. We are live in beautiful conditions here in France. 2 events left. We got the men's 110 meter hurdle final and that men's 1500 final. We've got Jimmy Gretier, an absolute favorite here in France, going in that one. But currently watching the men's long jump then. Efremov will go in this, the Israeli national champion. Having a fairly modest competition so far. Isn't quite clicking for him and leading this competition. Yes, with Aldrin, he's been consistent jumping around that 780 mark. He leads out front 787. No one's been able to get on terms with that yet, despite the talent, despite several men who are over 8-meter jumpers. And they've been around on the international stage for quite some time as well. So, Efremov then his sixth and final jump. Can he get a season best at least? Oh, he's going to be around about that 7-meter mark, isn't he? So a slightly underwhelming performance for someone who can jump 776 and a season best of 767. But like I said, it's getting to that time in the season where, you know, athletes aren't fatigued. They're just almost getting ready for their second peak. So they've opened up. They've come down a little bit for their opener. They've done a few competitions. Perhaps they've been on the road for a couple of weeks, and then they'll go away and get, you know, 2-week training block in before sort of getting some competitions under their belt heading into their national championships. And so often it can be a weird time of year this year for a few of them, and the performances can be a little bit up and down, especially in the jumps. Well, Angelica Mosedin. Where is she? We know she's attempting 471 on her third and final jump. Can she go clear? Oh, yes, that's fantastic. She will be delighted with that. Moser putting on a show over on the far side. Gets the meeting record as well, more importantly for her. So she will enjoy that. But, well, she's been at it since the very beginning, hasn't she? And just jumping so well. Look ahead to some of those performances. What was she? 5th last year in Budapest. Can she get on the podium? Medal rostrum. So Tom Campagnan then 783. 787 for the lead. What can he do? It's good. Oh, okay. This will be interesting. We'll wait anxiously for that result to come in. He thanks the crowd. He's had a strong competition as Campagnan. 787's the lead. I think this might have been big, despite, look at the distance on the board he had. Despite that, I think he's going to challenge for the victory here in this 6th and final round. So often we don't see any change in that 6th round. I think we may have seen one. Oh, Sadaleveva. Unfortunately, bows out of that competition. One of the heavy favourites in that women's high jump as well. So just failing. Bar at 189 over there. We need to get back to Tom Campagnani because I think on my system, he jumped 790. So for those of you at home interested in that French side, he goes clear and Jeswin Algin will have to respond. So 3 centimeters in it, up at the top there in that men's long jump. But oh boy, all right, this is a matchup and a half. We've got the former Olympic champion from Rio, Omar McLeod, to go in this, the Jamaican. Like I said, 12.90, his personal best. Lifetime at 2017. You talk about that 13-second barrier. That really is the cream of the crop who can attack that mark. Also the world champion in 2017. World indoor champion as well. He's got a few wins under his belt this season. You can see him there. Not quite dead center. It's just in between Simonelli and Ortega. Simonelli in 5, Ortega on his outside as well. But on the inside then, we introduced as Mark Hayden, 2nd in Chorzord last weekend, and European junior medalist. So not to be sniffed at, building nicely as well. Damien Zykier in 13.25. But there he is then. Willem Belocian. What can he do, this man? Season opener for him. 8th of those World Championships in Budapest last year. He's got French hopes on his shoulder come the capital this summer. Lorenzo Simonelli. Oh, silver at those World Indoor Championships behind the one and only Grant Holloway. That was a massive performance for him, wasn't it? Omar McLeod, the man who's won that World Indoor title before. Look at that lifetime bet, 12.90. Puff in the cheeks, puff in the chest. He's got off to a winning start this season. Can he maintain it? Orlando Ortega, the Spaniard, 2nd in Rio behind McLeod. Those two know each other well. They go way back. In fact, 12.94, his lifetime best. And 3rd at that Cyprus International just last week. So he's not in great form. And well, Djokovic there won at Cyprus International, 7th at the Rio Olympic Games. So it's almost like we do have, we've got 3 men from that Rio final in 2016. Ortega's got the meet record of 13.12. It's special if one of them can get near that, I'll tell you that much. So Sinner on the inside, Haydn next to him in 2, Saichka of Poland in 3, Velocian of France, hometown favourite, goes in 4, Simonelli in 5, McLeod in 6, Ortega in 7, and on the outside, Trokovic of Cyprus goes in 8. The crowd hush. Cameras ready to click. The men's 110-meter hurdles final here. The meeting Stanislas in Nancy. So away they're going in, the big hitters in 7, 6, and 5. Ortega, McLeod, and Simonelli. Simonelli hurdling very, very well. He's obviously going to get a good start. He's a man, he's a silver medalist at those World Indoor Championships. He's streaking away from the field, the Italian. 13:23. Oh, he'll take that. A fine old run from him. Well, he's just oozing in confidence, isn't he? And you'd expect that from a guy like him. His World Indoor Championship was fantastic in Glasgow, pushing a man like Grant Holloway. It's a national record for him as well to boost. And he's in fine form, heading into a big summer as well. And look at him here, just from strength to strength. Got a good start and no one could live with him. Where was Ortega? Oh, Ortega, a nasty fall. Was that on the 7th or the 8th flight there? Oh dear. But yeah, 13:27 by the way is the auto qualification for the Olympics. He's well inside that. There's Simonelli, so that'll be a box tick for him as well. And there you go, European Championship mark for Haydn as well. But Simonelli, well, what can we say about this man? Loves his anime as well. We saw him do some great celebrations in Glasgow, didn't we? I'm sure he'll be thinking of a few now heading into Paris. But there you go, the official results. No doubt about the man out front. Well, Chikel in this women's high jump competition, where are we at? It's been going back and forth, pushing each other to the wire. So, Selene Chikel, she leads the way. She has done all competition. 192 the bar currently at. Oh, well, almost there. And Imke Onenden of Germany will go next. Over to her. It's a bit of a sudden death now for these two women. So it will just be who goes clear is then in the driving seat. They're one apiece each of the failures. Chikel now 2 failures, of course. Rustin Bay, sector final jump in the long jump, sits in 4th. Like I said, he has to go clear with about 7:82, 83 to bump up a position. It's awfully tight. Son Campagne, 7:90 leads the way. Oh, very solid jumping. Will that improve on his 7:78? A lovely bout to the crowd. They've been fantastic here, haven't they? Nancy. Really have been pretty special, and these athletes have enjoyed it. So that men's long jump. Oh, Augustin Bay. I've got him at 7:43 there. Look, into a headwind as well, so conditions getting a little bit blustery. The women's high jump. Here goes Imke Onen. 192, third and final attempt. Oh, she needs to do it to stay in the competition. Unfortunately, she bows out. Well, second place is hers then. That wraps it up. So over to Chikel out front. She'll win on countback if she doesn't go clear at 192. Otherwise, can she inch closer to that lifetime best? Can she equal it? She may well change the bar and have an attempt at 193 to actually get a lifetime best. We'll see what she chooses to do now going into this final jump of hers. She's got 1 jump left, 2 failures at 192, and she could manipulate the bar to suit her. We often see that, don't we, at the very highest level. So here she goes in. Chikel. .192, she'll just look to go clear. Reps herself, and interestingly, I think she just wants to equal her season's best here. She'll want to gain confidence from this, win the competition here. she had a failure at 183, but and 2 failures at 186. Oh, okay, 192. Bows out, but she'll take the win here. She's in pole position at the moment, and congratulates the crowd. Nice attempt from her, and I did say, the one thing that might be holding her back was the fact she had to get her competition starting a little bit earlier. A bit of fatigue. You look, often jumpers will say they've got about 5 to 7, I guess, good jumps in them. And sometimes if those early ones just take a little bit out of you, you can struggle to really perform a little bit later on in the competition when that bar starts asking some serious questions of you. So in this men's long jump competition, Aldrin has 1 jump to respond. He's the last man to jump as well. So Campagne is leading 7 meters in 90 out front. Aldrin is an 8:42 jumper at his very best. He set that personal best last March. The Indian athlete. He almost burst onto the scene. He's been improving every single year, hasn't he? Except for last year. So what can he do here? Can he go clear? Can he go back into the lead? Oh, I don't think so. That's not going to cut it from him. So Campagne, what a fantastic 6th round jump. He's going to take it here, surprisingly. And Aldrin, who was sitting so comfortably for so long, will now have to settle for 2nd place, and we'll wait to see what that official jump comes in at. I'm trying to update you on my system as well. I've got 7:46, so a very modest 6th round for him. And those of you who are tuning in, perhaps we're seeing a spike in viewers as well. Welcome. We've got one more track event left. It is that men's 1500, a stacked men's 1500. So many names to look out for in it. There really is. So there you are, official long jump results there. Campagne takes the win, 7 meters in 90. And you're looking at the Indian athlete, talking about a nation who is on the rise. I mean, France, yes, you've got your Olympics in town, but India, oh boy, are they producing some talent at the moment across all disciplines. We're starting to see that flag pop up more and more. And it all started a while back at the Commonwealth Games, and then that 4x4, that battle as Indian women had. That's Tom Campagne at 790, Aldrin 787, and Simon Batts, where he was all competition with that 782 in 3rd. Nice season best for Bay as well in 4th, and Bertrand as well in 5th. So the 2 Frenchmen, decent jumping from them. Mary down the bottom there, 712. Be very disappointed in his performance. That's an 817 jumper at his very best, way back in 2022. So we do ask the question, what's happening to him? I'm sure there's a reason for it. So this men's 1500, a few names to look out for, and of course Jimmy Pedessier, 3:33.90, his lifetime best, season best of 3:34, and I think pride of him, although he will be targeting the 5 and the 10k come Paris, I think a little bit of his pride will go, well, I want to at least box off that 3:33.50 Paris 1500 qualifying time. I want to go do it all, but as I guess being a little bit premature to introduce you to that men's 1500 final. There's the results of the women's high jump. So then Schukel, 189. Wins on count back against Sonnen of Germany, and Vermont, and then 186 for her in 3rd. And the women's pole vault, Moser with the meet record, 471. It was a superb vaulting from her. It took a while to enter that competition. She had it all her own way. No contest, really. But good jump from Valia Backman, another Swiss athlete who backs up her season's best, 441 here today. So consolidates and builds on her early season form. And like I said before, this really is a key weekend in the athletics calendar. I mean, some of the very best will choose to open their season this weekend, if not get 1 or 2 tune-up races before it. We know that fantastic pre-classic diamond leagues taking place. There's several world tours across Europe as well this weekend, not just here in Nancy. We've got them, some in Belgium, Italy, even more in France as well. It's Britain as well. A fantastic weekend. Well, welcome back to meeting Stanislas here in Nancy, the final event of the evening, that men's 1500 final. Quinton Thyssen there. Want to look out for Luke McCann as well, Tom Elmer, the Chapeau Tichet as well of South Africa. Simon Meslick's in fine form. Flavien Schott, we've got an absolute array of French talent to look forward to. That man, Jimmy Gressier, as well, wears 7 on his shorts. Flirting with that 3:33.50 auto qualification mark for Paris. Not that he'll be too phased about getting it. I think that'll be more of a pride thing because, well, he's got the 5,000 standard. He's got the 10,000 standard near enough. That 27.07 on the roads from just, well, about a month or two ago, wasn't it? That was just fantastic. We've also got Tadesse Lemi, who goes in this one, the Ethiopian. Look out for him on the inside, and Kiprigat there on the outside in the blue. He will be the pacemaker alongside Sineski as well of Poland, I believe. So those two will help set the pace. We're on for something special here. Gressier, he's tried a few front-running tactics recently as well. He's really tried to force his cards over the 1500, which is an interesting method. He's in such good form over 10,000 as well. And this is a man who you believe he's going to have a real crack at a fast 5,000 sooner or later. Well, Charles Grethen in here as well. The Luxembourg national record holder. Van Meulen as well of Belgium. The small figure of Tishapo as well of South Africa. He's a fantastic talent. He really gets up there early, but big field, so often the way. Simon Meslick drifts himself to the front as well. He's a man in good form, always consistent in the low 330s. He's another one who will look at that 330.35 and go, I just need to box that off, to be honest with you. So it is Charles Grethen of Luxembourg who takes up the early running. He's in behind the pacemaker Kiprigat. And he sits in second to Simon Meslick back in, well, fourth currently, but second in the race as well. So swift through that first 300 meters there. Julien Ronc to the rear of the field. He did a few pacing duties. You got Monet in there as well. 3:34 lifetime best for him. So many Frenchmen are right on that mark. And, well, they do say 3:34 is becoming the new 3:37, isn't it? The way the world is moving. In the 5,000, in the 10,000, and of course in the 1,500. It's moved on a notch or two. Some people will say it's down to the shoes. I like to think as well it's just down to races like this when you look at all these men, all these talented individuals running together, pushing each other. Many of them will train together as well on the international circuit, outer shoot camps as well. I think more and more athletes are going away. They've become smarter with how they plan and prepare. So Tadesse Lemi sits in behind. He looks to bridge that gap to Osama Meslek. He's the athlete in purple. So you've got Charles Grethen of Luxembourg, Osama Meslek, and then Lemi. Those are your kind of top three. The pacemakers are away and gone at this stage. I had that at about a 58 lap from that first 300 round to the bell lap here with 800 meters just under to run. Gressier's tucked in the pack nicely. You've got Charles Philibert Tubar as well in this one. Monet. So Kiprigat 153 at 800. Look, you're going to see something similar to Diamond League tonight. That's how fast they're moving. But the field aren't going with it. Now they look to the Ethiopian Tadesse Lemi to be their kind of scapegoat to get things moving along. And Kiprigat at this stage, I mean, he's no slouch. He's got a 3:35 lifetime best. So checks his shoulder as Lemi looks to move things along as well. That's Monet in second. Grethen still sitting there in third. Meslek's played a canny game up to this point, and it's a massive group. It's going to be so hard to call, isn't it? Vermeulen on the outside. Joachim Vermeulen of Belgium as well. It's going to be a messy last lap. This is so often the case in 1500 running. A fast start, it settles, and then a big burn up over the last lap. 239, 240 even at the bell. We're not going to see much inside at Olympic stand. It's going to be awfully hard to hit. I think we're going to need to see a massive last lap. So Tadesse Lemi. Vermeulen, the Belgian, though, is having a fantastic season so far. 3:33.70 his lifetime best, season's best as well. Here comes Gressier. He's not a man you'd put down to have a sprint finish, but hey, strength is speed in this day and age. The way we're training, the way athletes on the circuit are training. So Lemi's just having to give up the lead to Vermeulen, who's the first to move at 200 to go. Gressier sits on his shoulder. Hey, how about this then? Look at this. This is the other Frenchman coming through. Bastien Augusto up on the outside. He ran a 3,000 just a week or so ago in 7:55. Not all that impressive, but he's going to fight Gressier here to the line. And this is Gressier putting on a bit of a statement for me, showing that he can do it all. He can run a 1,500 any which way, hard from the front. Meslek, the Italian national record over coming late as well. Gressier takes it 3:37.11, I believe, on the line. Oh, if it was a meter or so further, the result would have been different. And then again, 10 meters further, I think the result would have been completely different. A blanket finish in this men's 1,500. Gressier is your champion here at the meeting, Stanislas. 3:36.50 officially then, so ignore the initial 3:37.11 that we saw flash up. And he really is being able to perform at all distances, isn't he? He's a man who can do it on the country, on the roads, on the track in Monaco last year, that's sub-13. And now here over the 1,500 in what was almost a tactical affair. And a blanket finish. Look at this. Simon Meslek as well. He's so often up to the fore of these European circuit races. He is also a man who can seem to perform however the races run. Fast early, slow early. He's always featuring in the top three or thereabouts, and that's actually form that you want going into a major championship. You know that you can get to ahead of a race if it's messy, if it's scrappy, if it's fast, if it's slow. And so Meslek will take some confidence from that, but so will this man. And I believe he'll be looking ahead to that national championships world, just showing, look, I need to be able to kick, I need to be able to finish fast. And yeah, Bastien Augusto, a hard front-running 3,000 meters last weekend, pays off for him. Monet in fourth, Moulin in fifth, and the whole field, look at that. Not even a second apart, and you're in 10th. The whole field, 10 men inside a second in that men's 1,500. That is something. I believe Tichet and Lemmy coming out the back a little bit, and then 3:38 there. So they struggle, but that concludes the action here at meeting Stanislas in Nancy. What a fantastic event it has been. We have seen some thrilling matchups, some thrilling races. We've welcomed Olympic champions, Olympic medalists, world medalists as well, and we could well be witnessing some future medalists too that we don't know about yet, that will announce themselves in a few months' time in the French capital in Paris. And I'll tell you what, French athletics is in a phenomenal place. We all know that as well. I think the athletes know that the momentum that nation has right now is quite admirable, to be honest with you. But I'll spend a bit of time with the fans, and I think we can just start to wrap up our end and talk through some of those very, very successful performances. We had a shock in the men's hammer to start the day. Choussinan, a French national champion, second at European Throws Cup. He shocked it with 79.88 to win that hammer throw competition, beating the Olympic champion and the world champion, the two poles. But and then we concluded with this man, the star of the show right now, the star of French athletics, some would say. He's got a fantastic personality, and I think that's what people enjoy. We know the background he came from was football, so he does have a bit of flair about him, a little bit of trickery as well. But to see a man like him just contest the biggest races on the global scale, and he's been taking it as well to the East Africans over the 5,000, over the 10,000 on the track. And he's a very, very special talent, trains incredibly hard. I think they knew that, and like I said, he's a man who's done it on all surfaces as well. And these sort of runners are hard to come by now. To see someone be a European champion, or albeit say age group champion over the mud, over the cross country, then to attack the roads and be a natural record, a phenomenal athlete on the roads, and then of course to go forwards and start to perform on the track like we've seen him do over the 5,000. 12:56 last year in Monaco for that national record. He really is, and you know what? He's almost, started out as an endurance runner. He's almost getting shorter. We didn't used to see him in this many 1,500s like we do now. And it is a pleasure to really have him on board and performing at the very, very highest level in this sport. And Augusto there as well. Good run from him, and he look at those Olympic rings, eh? Well, I wonder if he can turn those rings into a medal in Paris. That will be awfully difficult. And he's still having fun. He's still got plenty of energy with him. And that was a different Jimmy Gressier tonight. Saw him a few weeks back in Huelva, and he really sort of went out hard and just try to force his hand in the race and just get a really hard run under his belt. And tonight, completely different. We didn't see him until that last sort of 250.